Hello, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And within 48 hours, we will have kickoff at the Mbombela Stadium as the Springboks take on the All Blacks in the first match of the 2022 Rugby Championship. Both sides have announced their teams, and it is set to be an absolute cracker. And for so many different reasons, both teams under quite a lot of pressure going into this game. And I think that for once, we saw a change in, for example, the betting odds. This is the first time the All Blacks are not the bettors' favourite in 13 years. It has been 13 years since the betting agencies tipped somebody, the All Blacks opposition, to win a match, which should have showed you the sort of the domination and the dominance of the All Blacks for so long, but also suddenly kind of shows you the crisis situation that they currently find themselves in and cannot afford to sort of slip up this weekend when they take on their old foes, the Springboks. And Ian Foster very much speaking about how important this relationship is between the two unions and how that they've really missed having South Africa in the Super Rugby, and that it is vital for the good of world rugby that these two unions sort of continue to have such a good relationship and continue to play games against each other and sort of continue to foster what is largely considered one of the biggest rivalries in world rugby. Before we look at the two teams and sort of talk about what we can expect from the match, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. In terms of how they will line up, this is the South African side that has been named. In the front row, Trevor Nyakane, Malcolm Marx, Frans Malherbe. The interesting news there is Malcolm Marx in his 50th test will have a start as he comes in for Bongi Manambi, who drops down to the bench. Trevor Nyakane backed at loose head ahead of Chekova Ditswe or Ox in chair, and Frans Malherbe continues to start at tight head. And the second row, Evan Etzebeth, Lourdes Diago, the usual suspects, as well as Sia Khaleesi and Pierre Steph Toy expected. Jasper Wiese is the number 8. No Dwayne Vermeulen this weekend. He did not manage to get up to full match fitness in time. As a result, Jasper Wiese will continue to be the second choice and preferred number 8. It's a pretty expected pack. It's a very good pack. It's arguably one of the best tight fives in the world. And it's a loose trio, which maybe we haven't quite seen click altogether, but individually have so many different sort of traits and so many different skills that they bring to the table that I think if they get it right on Saturday are going to be pretty formidable. Faf de Klerk is also another name who returns to the starting lineup after sitting out, benching the third test against Wales and sitting out the second. Jaden Henderson was preferred for those two final tests, but Faf de Klerk against Aaron Smith, so that rivalry will once again kick off. Andre Pollard, of course, preferred at 10, and the backline is the usual suspects of Makazuma Pimpi, Damien Dealendi, Lekanya, David Phillips, though, keeping his 15. And then the big decision of the week, Kirkley Orenser has been backed at 14 as the Cheslin Colby sort of replacement. Off the bench, Bongi Manambi, Stephen Kitshoff, Vincent Cox, Sal Murat is included on the bench in the 6-2 split. Franco Most has been deployed as a utility forward alongside Kwaka Smith, who is also very much a utility player. Jaden Hendricks, the reserve scrum half, and Billy LaRue at 23. And what we are seeing is a bit of a change because a year ago, I think we've all of a sudden found our almost, for now, our permanent sort of second choice scrum half in Jaden Hendricks, who seems to have jumped ahead of Herschel Yankees. What will happen when Kobus Reynolds comes available, which he might by the Australian series, we wait and see. But Billy LaRue also in a very different role, and I think a role that actually might suit him to a certain degree. He's a calm head coming off the bench. He provides a lot of experience. He's a very good player if you need to see out a game. Overall, it's a very strong 23. I don't think the Springboks can get much stronger within the current fitness of the squad. A couple of question marks maybe, around if you're going to go to Salman Murat, we're going to bring another loose forward in the bench in terms of the makeup of the bench. But I don't think this 23 gets much stronger. In terms of the 23 that they're up against, this is the All Black side, the under pressure All Black side. And Ian Foster has opted against maybe sort of playing to the critics and the fans and making wholesale changes. He has gone pretty consistent with sort of the selections that we saw against Ireland, but there are quite a few changes in the front row, including a start for Samson Tokawao, who comes into the side and will start at hooker. He'll be on in between George Bauer and Angus Toavawi, who is a very good character. A lot of fun. We had the press conference with him today, but quite new to the All Black setup, but quite an experienced, one of the oldest sort of players in the squad. And that front row are going to have to front up because a lot of people sort of say that the Springboks currently possess the two best front rows in the world. So this is an opportunity for these three to really sort of man up front and take on a very dominant pack head on. No Brody Retallick, of course, in the tour. So Sam Whitelock, Scott Barrett will pack down in the second row. Akira Awani, Sam Cane, and Artie Severe are the loose trio. A lot of pressure on the captain, Sam Cane. A lot of people saying that right now he doesn't even deserve to start. He wouldn't start in most test sides, or what some of the pundits out there are saying. Very much under pressure is the All Blacks captain. But I think we're going to see a big improvement from him. I think that he is one of those characters where pressure can sometimes bring the best out of you. Artie Severe, we know, is an absolute class operator, as is Aaron Smith, who'll be playing well over 120, 130 tests by the time he does retire. He starts at number 9 next to Beauden Barrett. Also quite an interesting call. A lot of people calling Beauden Barrett weirdly to get dropped or to go sort of Richie Mo'unga to try and change things up a little bit. For me, I think if you looked at how well Beauden Barrett played last year, you can understand why Foster has sort of continued with him. But Richie Mo'unga definitely pushing hard from the bench. Caleb Clarko is in the back of the side. The first time in 2 years that the young winger will come into the side. Very talented player, very physical, bringing a lot to the game. And I think he's going to be targeting Kurt Lawrence and trying to put him off a lot in what is the Bulls Wings just second match. In the midfield, David Havili, Rieko Awani. It's a pretty good midfield duo. And it should be quite an interesting clash between Awani and Lekanya. Very different types of players. You got Will Jordan, the World Breakthrough Player of the Year at 14, Geordie Barrett. A lot of people would like to see Will Jordan at fullback. Some people even calling for Geordie Barrett to be dropped. But Ian Foster very much backing the Barretts. And in fact, that's something that's sort of got him quite a lot of a lot of criticism in terms of how much he does like to use the Barretts. But off the bench, Dane Coles is preferred as the reserve hooker ahead of Cody Taylor. Ethan de Groot, Tyrell Lomax are the two reserve props. Tupou Vai, Shannon Brazil, they're covering the rest of the scrum. Shannon Brazil came into the squad after a niggle kept him out of the July internationals. Finlay Christie comes to the side. Fakatava had a bit of a tough time against Ireland, so they have gone back to Finlay Christie as the second choice or reserve scrum off. Richie Mo'unga, Quinn Tupou will be looking to try and add a lot of impetus to the game later on in the match. It's two good sides. You do, however, look at the Springboks side and think it's a much more settled side. And as I said, weirdly enough, you do look at the sides and you do think the Springboks, it's their game to lose. You know, they're at home in front of a home crowd. It's very much a crowd that will get behind the Springboks. You know, it's not like when you're playing in Cape Town or Gqeberha, formerly PE, where you do get quite a lot of All Black support. I don't think there will be a lot of support up here in the Lowveld. So it should be the perfect environment for the Springboks to really go out and try and dominate this All Black side. However, it is an All Black side with their backs against the wall with so much to prove, and that makes them very dangerous. Let me know what you think is going to happen down in the comments below. Please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Stephen, and I'll chat to you soon.